Whoa. Welcome to the Real Confessions Podcast. Stop playing. Welcome back if you're a real one. And if you're new, what's up? What's good? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Real Confessions Podcast. I am your host, Aidaozuna. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and supporting the podcast. We recently hit 7,000 downloads. We're now at like 7,500 downloads, and that is crazy to me. Literally, my goal for this year is 10,000 downloads and at least a sponsorship or something, okay? You're going to need some money here and there. But yeah, I don't do this for the money. I really genuinely do this because I enjoy doing it. Like today was really so busy. I created lots of content. I did a lot of things today. And currently right now it is 10:12 in the afternoon. It's Tuesday. And I promise you guys each Wednesday, if I can, but I'm really trying to hold myself accountable. Each Wednesday, a new episode drops. So I'm making it my goal to, put out episodes each Wednesday and then increase as I get into the flow of things. So I just want to say thank you to those who have been tuning in. I really love y'all. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. The messages, you guys DMing me and telling me that my episodes and this podcast and my YouTube channel and all of these things inspire and motivate you. And that is the ultimate goal. So I just want to go ahead and say thank you. This episode is just going to be me just talking about what I've learned so far in the growth. And I don't know, I don't, this is not plans or nothing. And also, I'm not talking into my microphone because my adapter to my computer broke. So yeah, I'm just talking into the laptop. So I hope it sounds good. If it doesn't, shit, I don't know. But I just want to say, like I said, thank you to those who do support me. And I just want to go ahead and talk a little. We're going to do a Q&A at the end, but I didn't get that many questions, so I don't just want to make this a Q&A episode. So in this episode, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about what I've been feeling lately. And okay, matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about how to pick yourself up out of a dark place, how to take yourself out of a dark place. I definitely feel like I was in this dark place mentally, physically, emotionally, and I'm still working my way out of that dark place. But I'm just going to let you guys know what I'm experiencing. And maybe you're in this position right now where maybe you're in this place where you feel stuck or you feel stagnant, or I don't know. I was literally going through a period of time in my life where I wasn't good mentally. And, I'm still working on my mental health. I'm still learning, growing, and evolving, and learning to love myself for me and letting go of procrastination and not imperfections. How do I say imperfection? Not imperfections. How do I say that word? Procrastination and perfectionism. That's what I meant. Perfectionism. Oftentimes I feel like I want things to be perfect. I want things to be, great right off the bat, but it doesn't work that way. So I just want to talk about growth and just picking yourself up out of that dark place and what I've learned so far. So maybe I'm just going to be just talking and rambling because this is not like plans or nothing, but I just want to say that it is okay for it to not be your season right now. Let me say it again. It is okay for it not to be your season right now. Oftentimes, we see everybody's highlight reel, and I kind of talked about this in the episode, but we really do. And sometimes in order for you to really focus on you and your goals and what you need to do, you need to go ahead and tune out everything. I feel like disconnect from people. If maybe your business is on social media, I'm not saying, get off social media, but what I'm saying is disconnect from people. Don't be worried about what everybody has going on and what they're doing. And oh my God, this is a talk that I had with myself. I'm no longer going to be thinking about or wasting my time on things that don't matter in the long run, things that don't benefit me. I often found myself looking for accounts and that didn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. It didn't give me motivation, didn't inspire me. It only created not hate. It created, I don't know, it was a feeling that it wasn't a good feeling. So in order for me to really focus on me and focus on myself and my business and my podcast and everything growing, I need to go ahead and focus on myself, me focusing on other people that don't benefit me and that are no longer in my life, is like, it's literally not, how do I say this? Like, it's not benefiting me in any way, shape, or form. So I just want to say that it is okay for it not to be your season, but it's also okay to disconnect from people. It's also okay to unfollow certain accounts, and I talked about this before, but it's okay to unfollow certain accounts. It's okay to disconnect, to really tune in on who you are. It's really, sometimes it's important to tune everybody out for you to really be intuitive and listen to what it is that you want to do. What is it that you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? What is your definition of success? What are your goals? Oftentimes we're influenced, by people on social media. And, my goal is to influence people, and inspire and motivate. But sometimes y'all don't have to keep, consuming my content, consuming to the point where you don't know what it is that you want. Just because I say something, that doesn't mean you have to do it. And vice versa. Just because maybe you may say something, or maybe somebody I look up to may say something, doesn't mean that I have to do it. At the end of the day, your decision is your decision, So I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that it's okay for it not to be your season. It's okay to disconnect from people. And it's also okay to clap for other people, even though their dreams or their business or whatever may take off before you, right? Oftentimes, we're all, as humans, we all compare, we all feel some type of way sometimes. Don't get me wrong, we're human. Sometimes we're like, dang, why? I know on TikTok, I'm kind of like that. I'm like, dang, I see all these businesses blowing up on TikTok, and why I haven't blown up? But guess what? They putting in that work. A lot of people on TikTok are posting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. So I can't sit here and compare my TikTok, my account, my business, my growth, my journey to somebody else's, because I'm only playing myself. And I've learned that throughout this time. Yes, sometimes there's moments of comparison here and there, but I don't let it get that far to the point where that's holding me back from my goals, if that makes sense. So one, it's okay for it not to be your season right now. It's okay to disconnect, and it's also okay to clap for other people. And sometimes it is hard to clap for other people. But something that I've learned is that you need to go ahead and use that as inspiration and motivation that you can do it too. Oftentimes when we're struggling, when we're down, when we're not okay mentally, physically, emotionally, it's hard. It really is hard to genuinely be happy for someone else that has everything it is that you want. But like I said, use it as inspiration and motivation. And if it comes to the point where you don't feel, if it comes to the point where it doesn't make you feel good, step away, okay? Because you're not ready to receive that news. So oftentimes it's not that you're a hater, but you need to be ready. If it triggers you, step away. Congratulations, keep it pushing, but don't hate. Don't ever hate. Don't find yourself envying somebody or being jealous of somebody, because that does nothing for you. So just be willing to clap for other people. I saw this quote that it says, clap for other people even if their dreams take off before yours. And I'm like, that is definitely true. It does feel good though to clap for other people. And eventually, when you get up there, you would want people to be clapping for you. So at the end of the day, be happy for other people. Don't be jealous. Don't be intimidated, because our journey is our journey. Something that I could see is that, I'm starting my business and I see my business growing faster than others, and vice versa. I see people starting businesses and their business may take off before mine. So it's if I really sit here and do calculate, oh, okay, so she did this and I did this, she posted this time and I no, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Focus on you. Have tunnel vision. And I literally talk to myself like this. I'm like, Aida, this year is going to be your year. I don't care. You're not focusing on things that don't allow you to grow. And if you find yourself focusing on those things, switch that mindset. And something that I have been doing is that when those negative thoughts come in my mind, I automatically just be like, thank you, God. I just switch my mindset. I be like, thank you, God. like, just thank you, or be like, oh my God, I look so good today. Like, I just say positive things randomly when those negative thoughts start to creep in. Because best believe, like, I'm a person that my mind is continuously on go, on go, on go, on go, on go. And if I don't have like that mindset shifts, like, I'm literally going to think myself into a damn depression. And I feel like it's all about being strong mentally. You have to be able to train your mind. Train your mind. That's where positive affirmations come into play. Train your mind. Train your mind to think positive thoughts. It is not easy to be positive. I'm not going to lie, but I had to pull myself out of that dark place because nobody's going to do it for me. And something that I'm definitely going to be investing in 2021 is in a therapist. And I feel like my mind, like, this is something I've been wanting to invest into a therapist. I just didn't know how to start. I didn't know. And like, even when I was younger, I just didn't know any better. But I feel like mental health is definitely important. And like, people talk down on mental health and therapy and all those things, but I genuinely want to go ahead and seek help. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm crazy. Like, no, I mean, I'm a little crazy, but I genuinely want to get better when it comes to dealing with my emotions and learning how to be mentally strong. I know that therapy is not going to fix all my problems, but at the end of the day, it's definitely, I'm going to be on my way to be okay. Because honestly, yes, the goal is to grow. The goal is to get money. The goal is to go ahead and be able to spoil myself and my family and my son. The goal is for my business to blow up. Okay. The goal is for my podcast to be one of the biggest podcasts ever. It's that those are all goals, right? But my ultimate goal in life, guess what it is? It's to be happy. It's to literally have like freaking happiness forever. Okay. Like, to have peace. To have peace of mind. And I posted on my Instagram page, on the podcast Instagram page, peace of mind is a real bag. It was a quote that I saw. Peace of mind is a real bag. Secure that. All right. Everybody wants to secure the Birkin bags. Everybody wants to secure the money bag. Okay. Everybody wants to secure the bag. All right. But peace of mind is the real motherfucking bag. And I definitely feel like we all need to go ahead and take our mental health serious. We need to go ahead and take, what we feel serious. We need to be able to identify our triggers. And this is something that I actually wrote down in one of my journals. I wrote down what it is that triggers me. And somebody asked me, like, Ada, what are your triggers? I think I was in like a Clubhouse room. And we're going to talk about Clubhouse. That's a whole different conversation. But I was in a Clubhouse room and we were talking about triggers, and I genuinely didn't know what like triggered me. I really never thought about what it is that does trigger me. And I'm like, wait, that's a good question. So that same night, I went ahead and pulled out my journal and started writing things down about, I started just thinking about life and thinking about certain ways when I acted away or when I felt away. And I literally wrote down a whole bunch of things that triggered me. And I feel like doing that made me realize that I'm really in control of how I feel and, the direction my life goes. Yes, some obstacles may come my way, but at the end of the day, I have the control because it all starts in the mind. And when people say that, everybody says that, but it genuinely, when you really sit here and think about it, it genuinely does. And entrepreneurship definitely has taught me that, yes, it's about strategy and things like that, but it's honestly all in the mind. And same thing with motherhood. Motherhood is something that I feel like no book, no YouTube video, no podcast episode, no other mom telling you and giving you tips and tricks, none of that shit could prepare you for what it is that you're going to encounter and going to experience through motherhood. And that's something that motherhood definitely has taken a toll on my mental health. Don't get me wrong, like, it's definitely something that I'm grateful for. It's definitely something that I'm so happy for. I love Josiah so much. But motherhood is definitely something that no book, nothing can prepare you, because it's something different. And all my moms, I know you guys can understand. But I say that all to say that I feel like, you need to be able to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and train your mind to think positive thoughts. And I feel like it's just, you have to be strong, right? You have to be strong when it comes to just every aspect in life. You have to be able to just be strong, be able to be resilient. And that's something that I'm just learning. I'm learning throughout my journey that I have to be strong. I have to keep pushing. I have to persevere. There's a lot of people that quit. Honestly, I was on TikTok, and I'm not very consistent on TikTok, but I want to be, right? So I posted a video, and somebody was like, wow, I'm so glad you came onto TikTok. It's good to see that you're still dedicated. This just motivated me. And I'm assuming that's somebody that watched me from YouTube, right? I'm not posting on YouTube like that, but I'm still focused on my business. I may take breaks, but I'm still focused. Every day I'm learning new things. Every day I'm researching. Every day I'm wanting to implement more into my business. Every day I'm talking to not every single day, but I'm talking to vendors. I'm working behind the scenes. Brainstorming. That's the thing. You have to learn how to just keep going, keep pushing. Do not let your negative thoughts, do not let that self-doubt get to you. And I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm really getting passionate right now because it's honestly so true. Because if I can do it, if I can get to where I am right now, so can you. And it's no secret. It's really no secret. And when people say, like, if I could do it, you could do it. Yeah. Everybody says it. And it sounds cliche, but seriously, guys, like, if you're contemplating, and this is the beginning of the year, so I feel like this is the perfect episode. If you're contemplating on starting your YouTube channel, if you're contemplating on starting a podcast, if you're contemplating on starting that business, if you're contemplating of letting certain people go, listen to yourself. This is where intuition comes into play. And I've learned to trust my intuition. 9 times out of 10, I'm not wrong. My gut feeling, I'm not wrong. Because I feel like every time, for example, I ignore my gut feeling, it just comes back to me. The situation that I knew I was right about and ignored, it literally comes back to me, and it shows me that I need to learn how to trust my gut. I need to learn how to be intuitive and actually listen to my thoughts and my gut and all of that. Like I said, we're oftentimes influenced by the people around us. Everybody has an opinion. No, don't do that. Yes, do it. Oh, I think you should do this. I think you should do that. What do you want to do? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you feel like is right? What is it that makes you happy? In 2021 and beyond, I'm doing what makes me happy. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm finding another way. I'm switching. Like, don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to go ahead and just try something new. Okay? The people that is meant for you, they're going to follow you. The people that are not, they're going to unfollow. Okay? And that's something that I'm learning to understand. I'm learning, and that's something that I'm implementing myself. I'm not just talking to talk. I'm genuinely, everything that I talk about, I practice. And I just try to learn and try to implement into my life. So, yeah, I feel like I'm just starting to ramble. So I want to go ahead and answer some of these questions that I did get. So, yeah, hopefully that was able to help you. I was just talking, to be honest, but I feel like that was just in my heart to just talk about. So I have 3 to 4 questions here. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to keep them anonymous. So, hey, sis, and then she put her at, but I'm not going to say at, but she says, first of all, I love everything you and your business are all about. Stay giving me the motivation I'll be lacking. So thank you, sis. But anyways, can you answer my questions? Number 1. Can you talk about working out toxic relationships? Like how to know if you should and can you fix them? If so, how would you or how have you? So I'm going to start with that question. And she said, working out toxic relationships. So I've definitely been in a toxic relationship, and I knew I was in a toxic relationship, but it definitely took me a while to go ahead and let that person go. Okay. I was like, oh my God, no, we've been through a lot. We've done a lot. But at the end of the day, when somebody is toxic, when, and that's the thing, like, stop giving people multiple chances. Somebody that truly loves you, I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody that truly loves you, someone that truly cares for you, is not going to make your life a living nightmare. Somebody that truly cares for you is not going to make you cry. Somebody that truly cares for you is not going to make you upset on purpose. Somebody that truly cares for you is not going to hurt your feelings. Somebody that truly cares for you is not going to go ahead and make fun of your body, make fun of your appearance. Like, okay, playfully, but when it comes to, like, you just know when somebody is toxic, and you know if that person is meant to be in your life or not. And I definitely had a lot of toxic relationships, not only like boyfriends. Relationships can be friendships, acquaintances. All of those things are relationships. And I've had toxic relationships that I had to let go. I had to cut off. In order for me to be the person I want to be, in order for me to get to where I want to go, you need to cut off people. You need to cut those people off, cut them off. Yes, sometimes we may have emotional ties with people, but it is what it is. Life goes on. You're going to find people that are meant for you, but if someone is toxic, my opinion on that is it's not even worth it. Your mental health, your mental health is key. If that person is over here, coming after your mental, and I feel like, honestly, to keep it transparent, a lot of the anxiety, anxiousness, all of those things that I have now is because, I'm not going to say the only reason, but definitely toxic relationships have definitely played a part in that. And this is why I got trust issues. So I say let people go. If they don't belong in your life, if they're toxic, let them go. That's not something that you need in your life. You need positivity, okay? And I'm not going to say we're all positive 24/7, but you need somebody that is able to push you and motivate you and inspire you, not hold you back. You don't need to go ahead and tell people what it is that you want. And if you're talking about a boyfriend, don't tell him what it is that you want. Because at the end of the day, people just perceive to be somebody, and that's not really who they truly are. So just be a person. I'm a person that I sit back and observe your actions, and I don't care what you're saying. If your actions don't align with your words, I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry, because it's not worth it. So that's my take on that. So this is number 2, and it says, I know this is what your brand is literally all about, LOL, but what is the best form of self-love? What does it look like for you, and how to start your self-love journey? So I feel like start your self-love journey as soon as possible, but I feel like everybody's journey is different. I often, in the past years, would put myself down a lot. I would go ahead and let those negative thoughts and those moments of self-doubt and, those negative thoughts I was so hard on myself when it came to my appearance, when it came to my abilities, when it came to my talents, when it came to my goals and things I wanted to do. But I feel like self-love to me personally is loving yourself even though you've been through a lot, loving yourself even though there are things that you want to change, loving yourself even though there are other people around you that may have what you have or that may look better than you, may be more talented than you, but loving yourself for you, okay? Loving yourself, and it's not even the materialistic stuff at the end of the day. Like, I don't know why I just said that, but loving yourself for you, looking in the mirror and looking past looking past the flaws, and also learning to embrace those flaws, learning to embrace the things that maybe you weren't confident about, or maybe you grew up hating, but learning to accept those things, learning to love them at the end of the day. And that is self-love to me. That I show myself love in many different ways. That is positive affirmations, taking myself out, treating myself, getting cute for myself, doing things for myself. And this is why I'm so hard on my brand when it comes to, putting yourself first. That's my whole thing, like normalize putting you first. And I say that also because I wasn't always that person. I would often put the needs of others before mine. But I noticed that got me nowhere. So I went ahead and started my self-love journey when I found myself unhappy. I was doing so much good, and it's nothing wrong with giving. Giving is important, but you can't give if you have nothing left to give. You can't give if you're not full. I love this quote that says you can't pour from an empty cup. And I definitely found myself doing that a lot, even though I was struggling, mentally, emotionally, physically. Even though I was struggling, I would help. I would give. And that was just sucking the energy out of me. I had to learn how to love myself. I had to learn how to put me first. I had to learn how to set boundaries. All of those things is part of self-love. And I say start your self-love journey as soon as possible. Definitely don't rush it, because loving yourself, I'm still learning to love myself. I'm still learning to love certain things about myself. I'm still learning to go ahead and accept, who I am. I'm learning to be more authentic. I'm learning to be more open. I'm learning to be more loving. Because in order for me to love other people, I need to love myself just as much. So that's my definition of self-love. I could go on and on about self-love, but I just really do love me, who I am. And in order for me to pour into other people, though, always remember that you have to be good. You have to put yourself first. You have to make sure, just like in the airplane, I don't know if you ever traveled, but when you're on an airplane, they tell you, if anything were to happen, you have to put your mask on before you can help somebody else. So yeah, I love using that analogy because you need to be able to prioritize yourself before others. And I just feel like self-love and self-care it's not selfish in my eyes. I'm all about helping other people, don't get me wrong, but I need to be good. I need to make sure that I'm straight. All right. So that's my definition of self-love. I could go on and on about that, but it's definitely something that takes time, and it's something that doesn't happen in a day. Confidence, if you're somebody that lacks in confidence is not something that happens overnight. It's something that happens with you continuously showing up for yourself. There's going to be times where you cry. There's going to be times where you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see. At the end of the day, if you're able to change it, change it. But the real T is loving who you are for who you are. Loving your flaws and all. Loving everything from your head to your toes. Okay? Your toes. So yeah, that's self-love for me. But yeah, let me shut up about that. So number 3, what are your skincare essentials? And it says, love you, babes. Thank you for being you and sharing it with us. You're a real one for sure. Love, aka a real one. Okay, I love it. So what are your skincare essentials? I just wash my face with my mom's soap. My mom's soap is my freaking holy grail soap. And then lately, this is what I've been doing. So I've been washing my face with soap, and then I go ahead and use the Body Boutique's body butter. I use that to moisturize my face and my whole body. So that's literally my skincare essentials currently right now. But for sure, my mom's soap, that is something that I've been washing my face for months with that soap. It's the coffee soap. She has many different soaps. She has rose soap, coffee soap, all kinds of soap, but the coffee one is the one that works for me. So that's what I use. So that was your question. Thank you so much for asking your question. We have another question here, and it says, hi, Aida. I've been working on my business for months now, doing research and learning everything I need to know. I've not told a single soul about it or even what I'm planning to do. I've ordered all my equipment and ingredients today to start testing all the products and making them at home, but I'm so nervous to share it with my family. I live at home, so I'll be using the kitchen. I don't know how to tell them. I've always been the type that loves staying in my own bubble. I find it hard to tell people anything or ask anyone for help. I just don't want any outside energy to ruin what I got going on or discourage me. I'm scared they won't take it as serious as I've been because I've worked so hard already. I just don't know what they're going to think of it. What advice would you give to me about how I should approach them with it? How did you first tell your family about you starting a business? Thank you so much in advance. I just want to say, this is my opinion. I just want to say, tell them when you're ready, but definitely tell them. You guys live in the same, I could definitely relate to you. That's like me starting, this is what I did. I ended up telling my mom that I was starting my business when I knew what I wanted, right? When I kind of had everything together. Of course, I didn't just launch my brand, didn't tell her nothing because, it's all of this stuff. You say you're going to be using her kitchen. You're going to be trying products. You're going to be staying up late. They're going to be wondering what you're doing. And I'm a big person that I'm big on communication. So eventually you're going to have to tell them, but tell them when you say that this is what you want to do, right? But you can't be a person that stays in your bubble. And I'm not here to tell you what to do, but this is just my opinion. Communication is key, especially if it's not your house. You'll be using the kitchen. There's going to be asking questions. It's better to just be honest, be upfront, and communicate and let them know what it is that you want to do. Something that I've learned is that sometimes not everyone is going to see your vision. Not everybody is going to go ahead and accept and clap for you. Okay, not everybody's go, yeah, girl, yeah. Like, not everybody is supportive, but you need to be secure within your craft and secure with what you're doing and what your goals are. And when you see yourself, write things down, journal, and don't let anybody's opinions affect you. And something that I've learned with my journey is that in the beginning, I would let the opinions of others. I remember me starting my YouTube channel, I had hate comments and haters and fake pages DMing me and like making fun of me and like, just hate comments. It was just, it was like immature when you really think about it. But it was definitely something in the beginning, it kind of did affect me because I'm new to all this social media stuff. And I'm like, dang, like, do I really want to do this? Like, I just want to quit. I definitely had my moments where I did let, other people's energy affect me. But I've learned to be more just be strong mentally and be confident in what it is that I'm doing and what it is that I have to bring to the table and what it is that I'm providing. And that just comes to, this is where confidence and just being secure and visualizing where it is that you want to go comes into play. You can't let the opinions of others cloud your judgment. And for 2021 and beyond, if anyone's listening, and if you're listening, the person that asked the question, I want you to go ahead and write down what it is that you want, what it is that you see yourself doing 5 to 10 years from now. How are you going to look? How are you going to dress? All of these things. Your current situation right now, you're not always going to be living, with them. Okay, you're not always going to be sharing a kitchen, sharing a bathroom, sharing a bedroom, if that's what y'all doing. It's not always going to be that way, but you have to start from somewhere. Remember, we all start from somewhere. So don't let the opinions or their judgments cloud your judgment. And you never know, they might be supportive. We're in a time where being an entrepreneur and starting a business, that's an amazing thing. You're going to have support. So oftentimes we just want to go ahead and think of the worst. And, it is important to be prepared for those who don't support you. That's cool. But also remember that there's going to be other people that support you. That's amazing. Keep going. Create your products. Start your business plan. Keep doing your research. Keep going. Keep grinding. This is the beginning stages. Have fun. Get people involved. Obviously, don't mix family and business when it comes. Don't do all that. But definitely tell your family. Communicate. And I'm sure they're definitely going to be supportive. So I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for submitting your question, and thank you for supporting the podcast. That's my tip for you. So this is the last question that I do have. And it says, hey girl, I love your podcast and your videos so much. My question is, how do you balance your time? So let me start by answering that one. I'm sorry. So how do you balance your time? So this is something that I currently still am struggling with. I'm learning to go ahead and plan out my days. I'm learning to, because it's really, honestly, it's hard. I'm not going to lie, it's hard. So I have my YouTube channel, I have my podcast, I have just life and being a mom, basically I'm a content creator now. So it definitely is hard, but I'm learning to just have a balance. Something that I'm programming my mind to, I have to think that, how do I say this? Okay. First and foremost, I'm still struggling with that. I'm not going to lie. But second of all, I have to remember that I only have so many hours in the day. That's what I was trying to say. I only have so many hours in a day. There's only so much I can do. So in order for me to really put my all into something, I need to go ahead and set a day for that. So, okay, for example, Monday, let me go ahead and film this podcast, right? Tuesday, I'm going to edit the podcast and create content for the day. Sunday, I'm going to go ahead and plan out my content for the week, right? Thursday, I'm over here jumping days. But Thursday, I'm going to go ahead and edit this YouTube video or edit 2 YouTube videos to have them out. Friday, I'm going to go ahead and go on live and engage with my audience and go ahead and engage back. each day, like, set time aside for what it is. I feel like prioritizing, this is where prioritizing comes into play. Because something that I definitely realized is that me writing a whole bunch of stuff down, like, yes, I got to edit this podcast, I got to post on Instagram, I got to go ahead and edit this picture, I got to go ahead and take time for Josiah, I got to go ahead and do this and do that. A lot of the stuff don't end up getting done. So I feel like set 3 to 4 goals to get done in a day, sometimes even 1 to 2, to really focus, especially if they're like very time consuming tasks. Take time aside to actually do those things. This is what I'm learning to do. I can't go over here and do so many things at once because I'm not going to put my all into it. It's not going to get done. So this is where prioritizing your time comes into play. Number 2, how do you organize your day? So something that I try to do is I try to plan ahead. So I plan ahead the night before on what it is that I want to do for that day. So sometimes, lately, I've been actually using my phone. In the beginning, I was actually using a journal. So I had a specific journal just for my goals for the day. But something that I always have my phones with me. So I use either of my phones. I have 2 phones. So sometimes I have both of them on me. Sometimes I have one. So at the end of the day, I use my notes, and my notes stay in my iCloud. So I could use either phone or sometimes even my laptop. It all stays in like the cloud. So what I do is I go ahead and put main priority for the day. And usually I put 1 to 2 things that I want to do for the day. And most of the time they're very time consuming tasks, very time consuming things. And then the rest of the day, I just put rest of the day. And that's little things like, oh, maybe I need to create labels. Maybe I need to go ahead and speak to vendors for 40 to 50 minutes. That's, I literally plan everything out. Oh, I gotta take a shower, or I gotta make something to eat. Sometimes I forget to eat. I gotta literally write it down because I literally work hard and I literally just be grinding that I forget to eat. So I gotta eat. I gotta take time for Josiah. I don't want to neglect my business and just, focus on him. But I also don't want to just focus on him and neglect my business. So there has to be it has to be a balance. So planning out your days, write down what it is that you want to do. It's as easy as writing it down on your notes. And I'm still learning, like I said, to manage my time and things like that. But these are just some things that help me. So it says, do you have a schedule to follow daily or weekly? And if you do, what is an example? So I kind of just touched up on this. I actually did create a schedule, but I'm not going to lie, I haven't really been sticking to it. And since I created my schedule, there's a lot of things that I do now that is, they're more add-ons. So I started my podcast. I am now on TikTok. I'm more consistent on Instagram. So these are all things that I have to add on to my schedule. And for 2021, I'm definitely wanting to stick, like, that's one of my goals, is to stick to a schedule. And yeah, that's one of my goals, because I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm all over the place and I need to get my life together. Other times I'm very productive and I get a lot of things done. Other times I'm so tired, I don't have any energy. So I feel like it's all about balance. Find that balance and learn to prioritize your time. And like I said, I'm not a guru or whatever. I don't know how to say it. I'm not like an expert on time management and things like that. This is something that I'm still learning. But that's something that helps me is one of my vendors texted me. So that's something that I'm learning is that, let me put this on mute. Something I'm learning is to take time. Can they stop? So yeah, something that I'm learning is to just prioritize my time and learn what it is that I want to do for that day. Set time aside. There's times where, maybe you want to do this, but honey, this is a deadline coming up, so you got to do that. So learn to balance your time, write everything down. If you're like me, I'm very forgetful. I literally could forget what I'm talking about right now. So I like to write things down. And this is why this episode is kind of all over the place, because I didn't write anything down, but write things down. And sometimes and date it too, because it's amazing to look back like, okay, I did this and this and this. And sometimes there's maybe days where you're not motivated and you look back at when you did accomplish all of those things in a day. So yeah, write things down, prioritize your time, prioritize your task. What is it that you have to get done? Something that I do is I tend to get overwhelmed a lot when I look at my long list of things to do. So I sometimes just go ahead and just stop completely what I'm doing. I meditate, and then I'm like, okay, what is the next step I need to take? what, not the 1, not the 2, not the 3, not the 4, not the 5, not the 6, not the 7, not the 8, not the 9, not the 10. What is the next step I need to take? The one step I need to take in order for me to get to where I want to go. I feel like when you think of it that way, when you think of it instead of, oh my God, like I got to do this and this and that. When you think of it as, okay, what is the next step? Baby steps, okay? When you think of it as baby steps, you get more done. So yeah, just learn to prioritize your time. Learn to go ahead and I'm going to invest in, like, I heard Trello is a good app. I heard Monday. I keep seeing ads on YouTube. I heard Google Docs is good. So I'm going to definitely get into those things and then let you guys know what apps and, things work for me. But I'm just going to go ahead and I say keep it old school and just have a journal. Write it in your notes. Definitely, invest in tools like that. I'm going to definitely put you guys on whenever I do get into those things. But for right now, keep it old school. So that's my tips on, managing your time and learning how to balance things out. Another thing is that I'm a mom, so I can't compare somebody, maybe an entrepreneur, maybe somebody that has a business that's not a mom. Because at the end of the day, they have, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. But at the end of the day, I have somebody else to tend to. So especially if you're a mother, don't be so hard on yourself when you don't get things done, right? Oftentimes I'm very hard. I'm like, dang, I didn't get shit done today. But I'm learning to shift that mindset and talk to myself like, okay, maybe today, this was meant to be, right? I was meant to spend more time with Josiah. Sometimes he's more clingy and more whiny and he always wants to be carried. So I'm like, and there's other times where he's just chilling. He's watching TV, playing with his toys, and I get to work. And it just depends. If there's a day where he wants to be carried all day long, I'm going to carry my baby all day long, and I'm going to work whenever I have the time. So that's another thing. Learn to just prioritize your time and learn to not be so hard on yourself. So I hope that was able to help you. This episode was actually longer than I thought. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support with my podcast. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you go ahead and follow us on Instagram at The Real Confessions Podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram at aidaozuna. And make sure to go ahead and shop my business. I do have a Valentine's Day bundle coming soon, so I'm super excited for that. I've been working really, really hard behind the scenes. I feel like it's going to be amazing. So it's all about self-love and self-care and just prioritizing, putting you first and confidence. So I'm super excited for it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. Make sure I could actually maybe like at the end of episodes do Q&A, so you guys could send any questions that you may have to the Real Confessions Podcast at gmail.com. I'm not going to do it for every episode, but definitely maybe if I'm feeling it that episode, I'll definitely do those. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the podcast so you are notified every single time that I do post a new episode. So yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next episode, and yeah, it out.